Hi, welcome to your carrier update brought to you by PowerFleet. I'm Mike Vincent. He's Zach Strickland.
Sure.
Last one of the day, man. Let's make it count. What's up there?
Let's make it count. So tender rejection rate, seasonality view here over the last several years, all over the place. Surprisingly, we've spent a lot more time up here than down here over the last several years. Very, I think very unexpected.
This time last year we were thinking, after Chinese New Year's, everything's going to go back to normal.
This time last year we were down here. This was not last year. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying this time last year we were looking at this, we were thinking, well, next year we'll be back.
Yeah, next year we'll move down after the holidays. It'll be fine.
Everything will be great.
Then 2 years before that, we never thought we'd be back up here.
No, not after coming down off the.
Yeah, right. So right now we are roughly at about 22.3% tender rejection rate, still historically high. Anything over 15% we really consider to be extremely high tender rejection rates. That's an 85% compliance for shippers.
Yep.
Not something they're accustomed to seeing, historically speaking.
No.
You would be fired right away as a carrier if you had that level of compliance. And now it's the national average, 80% compliance.
Right.
So we did tick down a little bit over the last couple of days and it looks like it's slowing its increase a little bit, and that's a little surprising because we still have some ways to go before Labor Day.
Yeah, we certainly do.
September 6th-ish, I believe, is when it is. And that's, like I said, about 2 weeks away. We wouldn't expect to see any kind of easing leading into the holiday. But this is not a big easing. This is about a 0.5 percentage point move down.
We also saw the increase a little early this year.
Exactly. This was an early increase. The anomaly was here, not here.
Yes. Exactly.
So things tightening a little bit. I don't think things are going to change there significantly. I don't think we're going to come back down to 20% or anything like that. So don't expect that much easing, even though we are seeing a little bit of a notch. Look at the Outbound Tender Volume Index to see why. And we've got a little notch here. Demand remains extremely high. We're still on
really
trend.
nice trend line.
There's no trend divergence here. This one's coming up from the early part of August, probably continue into Labor Day. Just a little bit of a notch here, just to take a little bit of a breather. And then let's go to the Weighted Rejection Index map to see where in the country can you expect that big potential increase of spot rates or the other side.
Yeah, the other side. Yeah.
The blues are where you're going to see increasing upward pressure on spot rates, activity, et cetera, week over week. And then the oranges here are the ones where you're going to see less activity or some softening in the rates potentially week over week. Now, it shouldn't be significant by any means because you saw that tender rejection rate, it only came down 0.5 percentage.
It's not like you need to take all your assets out of Atlanta and run to Memphis.
No, it just means that week over week, we're seeing a little bit of easing. Atlanta, again, a huge market. It's in the light orange, something to keep in mind. Don't pull all your freight from going into Atlanta by any means.
It'll turn blue eventually, I guarantee it.
It's a huge volume market. Dallas, a little bit more concerning in terms of that darker orange, as well as Jacksonville. Jacksonville down here, very volatile market, but tender rejection rates still up around 40%. So you've got relative points here.
Relative points. If you're in that market all the time and you understand that market, this is incredibly useful because you can see where those trends are really moving in those markets to look for, hey, wow, that's really light. No. Dallas isn't like just unbelievable with just capacity.
These are the early warning signs for any kind of capacity changes. And speaking of early warnings, let's go to the chart. Look at Atlanta and Dallas's tender rejection rates. And like we said, nothing to get super pumped about or worked up about.
If you're a shipper,
if you're a shipper, or anything to get super worried about if you're a carrier. Rejection rates came down from about 25 to almost 23% in Dallas. This was a little bit of an anomaly in my mind versus the downward trend. We're kind of correcting that market a little bit. And then Atlanta, similar situation, not a big divergence from trend here by any means. So if you are operating out of these markets, you're not going to see like some sort of drop off in activity. It's just simply like
20 seems to be the floor.
Yeah.
Right? And we've talked about that. We started to see that increase a little early. Now we're seeing a little bit of correction. Probably going to start going back up. We're not going to 18.
No. I would expect both these markets to be back up here in the next week or so.
Thank you so much, Zach. We'll check up with you again tomorrow.